Hi, I'm Sofie and welcome to Sofie's Books, my BookTube channel. This is my first ever BookTube video. I'm going to be doing my own take on the BookTuber Newbie Tag. I honestly can't believe that I'm sitting down to film my first BookTube video. This is something I never thought I would have the courage to do, but I'm excited to start my BookTube journey. The BookTuber Newbie Tag feels like a rite of passage, so I thought it would be a great place to start. I have adapted the tag slightly, changed up the order of the questions and added a few more in. I'm going to start off with some general questions about my reading origin story, and then I will move on to some questions specifically about the channel. So let's get started. The first question is, when did you start reading? Reading has always been a big part of my life. I read as a child and as a teenager. It was only really in my late teens, early 20s that I discovered how much I loved reading. I then started to read every day and more of a variety of books. Question 2 is, what book or series got you into reading? So there are a few books that I enjoyed as a child, but I feel like the turning point was really when I picked up Twilight from my local library. I was so intrigued by the concept and I loved every minute of reading that book. I loved the take on vampires, the romance, and just the whole vibe of that book. Then I read New Moon in the university library when I was supposed to be studying, but I just could not put that down and had to keep reading. I picked up Eclipse as soon as it came out, and then I remember with Breaking Dawn, I bought that at the airport when I was travelling to Germany for my year abroad, and I pretty much read most of that on the flight out there. So that's the series that really kindled my love of reading. Question 3 is, why do you love reading? I always love finding that book that you cannot put down. You have to keep reading, you have to find out what happens, and it just stays with you long after you finished it. I also love to be transported to different worlds, meet different characters, and explore topics from different perspectives. Question 4 are, what are your reading habits? So I can read pretty much anywhere except for in the car. I always have to take a book with me when I leave the house, sometimes more than one book. It would be a disaster for me if I was stuck somewhere and didn't have anything to read. So I mostly read in my home library, which is actually quite new. We had some building work done recently, and I finally got these bookcases. I also read in bed before I go to sleep, but I'm generally not very good at staying awake when I'm reading. I mainly like to read physical books, but I do also read some digital books, and I've also got really into audiobooks recently because I just find them great for if you want to do some chores and you want to read at the same time, you can do them together. I just can't really listen to audiobooks in bed because I fall asleep and I wake up so many chapters later, I have no idea what is going in the plot and I have to restart again. Question 5, what kind of books do you like to read? I generally read quite widely and do enjoy a lot of different genres. My favourite genres are dystopian and speculative fiction. I love mythology retellings. I also read a lot of fantasy and a lot of sci-fi. I do occasionally read classics and literary fiction, but I think I have to be in the right frame of mind to read those. I do also occasionally like reading non-fiction. Question 6, what are some of your favourite books and authors? So I really love the nostalgic books like the Twilight series, the Hunger Games series, the Mortal Instruments and Infernal Devices series. I just always love to come back to those. I'm a massive fan of Alice Hoffman, who wrote the Practical Magic books. I love that whole series. I love everything about her writing. It's just so magical and beautiful and lyrical, and she is just such a great author. I also love Taylor Jenkins Reid. I think I would pretty much pick up anything she wrote. I think I would say that my favourite of hers is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, though, closely followed by Daisy Jones and the Six. Some classics that I love are Jane Eyre, Wuthering Heights, Frankenstein, Dracula and The Great Gatsby. There are too many favourite books to mention here, so I will hopefully do a video on my favourite books in the future. Question 7 is, why did you start this BookTube channel? The main reason that I started this channel is I love books, but I don't really have anyone to talk about books with. So I'm hoping to create some kind of community here. I have watched BookTube for a number of years now, but thought it was finally time to create my own content and get involved more in the community. Unfortunately, I was also made redundant several months ago, so this has really knocked me back in terms of self-confidence, and I feel like I've lost a sense of purpose. So I'm hoping that BookTube will be a nice creative outlet for me and will give me a chance to rebuild my self-confidence and have some kind of sense of purpose and something that I can focus on. I also think this channel will be good for my own personal growth, to build my confidence and also learn some new skills like content creation and video editing. Question 8 is, what are some unique things you can bring to your BookTube channel? So I don't really think I'm going to be producing any content that's groundbreaking, anything that hasn't been done, anything that's unique. But I feel that we're all unique. We all have our own perspective on books we liked, books we didn't like, elements of books that we like. And everyone in the book community has their own personal preferences and tastes. And I think even if we've all read the same book, we all have different things that we took from that book, different things we like about that book, and different things that we can talk about. So I guess really the most unique thing I can bring is me and my own perspective. Question 9 is, what are you most excited for about starting this channel? I'm most excited to start my own corner of the book community and hopefully meet some like-minded bookish friends. I'm also looking forward to using the creative part of my brain and curating content. Question 10 is, what content are you looking forward to creating? So there is a massive reason why I decided to start this channel in September. Autumn is my absolute favourite time of year, and I couldn't think of a better time to start. I'm really looking forward to creating some autumn-inspired content. Question 11 is, what type of content do you plan to create? So I plan to create all of the bookish staples, so TBRs, reading recommendations, monthly wrap-ups. Hopefully we'll also do some vlogs, and then perhaps some bookshelf reorganisation. And I'm starting to think of some ideas that I can use to do my own take on the Clear Your TBR challenges. I hope to do a lot of autumnal reading recommendations throughout spooky season. Question 12 is, what challenges do you think starting a BookTube channel will be most difficult to overcome? So for me, it's really talking in front of a camera and not sounding awkward. I'm quite shy in social situations and quite introverted, so I think that will be the main challenge. Also, I really hate listening to myself and watching myself on video, so I think that will be most challenging when it comes to editing. Question 13 is, what are your hobbies apart from reading? So reading is really one of my main hobbies at the moment. I also like to go to bookish events, meeting authors, and I do have a few of those planned in the next few months. I also play piano, and I may treat you to some music if I have the confidence to do that as well. Also, I love creative hobbies such as knitting, which I've really enjoyed developing my skills over the last few years. And finally, I love traveling. I love experiencing new things. Haven't traveled for a while, but hopefully we'll be going somewhere soon. Well, that was the last question. I hope you've got to know me better. I would love to find out more about you, so please tell me something about yourself in the comments or just say hi. My next video will be my September TBR, and I'm really excited to film my first autumnal TBR. I hope you have a great week, and thank you for watching. See you next time. Marker 1. Right. Get comfy. Everybody comfy. Hair nice. Hi, I'm Sofie. Hi, I'm Sofie, and welcome to Sofie's Books, my BookTube channel. Hi, I'm Sofie, and welcome to Sofie's Books, my BookTube channel. This is my first ever BookTube video, and I thought that I would do the BookTube Newbie Tag. Tag slightly, changed up the audio. I read every minute of it. Yes. I did really... probably closely followed by Daisy and the Six. Daisy and the Six are dystopian and speculative. My favourite genres are dystopian and speculative. Question 12. Question 12. Question 12. Question 12. Here we go again.